Hi, what I did was, I'm hoping you've seen the first part of this video. Hold on. Nope. All right, there we are. I don't know if you lost me for a minute, but I am going to go right ahead and start this little painting. Now I'm going to sketch all of the canvases for you. You can see I sketched his nose. I don't know how well you can see. I think I don't know if either I had light too much or it's not bright enough. I'm not sure. So I'm going to just sketch this out for you. Now I'm going to put this right here so you can kind of see him. Let me fix the light. Like I said, there'll be all your colors you need right in your kit. Might even be a few extras. Sometimes when kids are doing paintings, they like to have some choices. You know, no one says you have to do it in these colors. It's white, green, there's a blue background. So I'm going to do the black background first. And we can mix colors. We're going to do that. So I got blue and I got white. And no two are ever the same. So you can play around with it any way you want. So I'm going to kind of do a little blue and white background here. I think a little bigger brush. There'll be a big brush and a small brush in there. And there'll be a little water cup, probably a paper towel. Unless I gotta mail it, then there won't be a cup because I think it'll get kind of mashed. But if you're interested, all you gotta do is go to my art page or my Facebook page, inbox me, and I'm gonna do a PayPal today. I'm not sure it's gonna be on my web page. I'm gonna have a website. But if not, we can do Venmo, we can do a check. There's a lot of other ways of doing it. Like I said, locally I can meet you at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts. Drop it off. And once I sell a few, I'm going to set a date, but I can do a live anytime. It doesn't really matter. So you ain't got to be perfect with this. This is not like Van Gogh here. This is fun stuff. We're going to have fun. I'm going to probably give out I'm definitely going to give out a few prizes. Probably this first painting that I'm going to do. Usually when I did a class, like I can't keep all these paintings. So what I do is I do like a door prize and that person gets this painting. I usually do one to paint by so that everybody can follow. Which is always fun. It's a lot easier than trying to just like do it out of nowhere on the top of your head. And like I said, you could do the background any color. You could do the hat. The hat is like a green. But I can see it like maybe being red or pink or purple. You can make him into a girl. Put some flowers in his hair. I actually encourage creative license because, you know, you never know. You might want to fix it up for somebody else, and maybe they have a team they like or something. You can put it on the front of the half SU or something, make it orange and blue. That would be fun. But sometimes when I'm painting, I don't talk too much because I don't know, I can't walk a true gun, let alone do this painting. So most of the time, what I'll do is I'll just tell you where we're at, what we gotta do next. Then I'll do my painting and you kind of do yours while I'm doing mine. Don't worry about doing these edges real perfect because this will dry a little bit by the time we get back to it. You'll be able to fix those edges with the next color. So there's your blue. Oh, a little more here. Then what we're going to do is wash this brush, rinse it out real good. Get your paper towel and dry it out a little bit. We gotta wipe all the color off that because the blue and white kind of mixes pretty good because we're gonna do the white next. And I wouldn't worry about covering up the face because we're gonna go back over that with stuff. Cover it up just enough so that you might be able to see a little bit of that eyes and stuff that I did. You don't want this brush too wet, you don't want it too dry, so if it's running down the canvas, that's a no-no. It'll make a mess. It'll eat into the other colors. If it goes on nice and smooth like butter, that's perfect. You don't use a lot of water. This is not watercolor. If you use too much water, it's a mess. You usually, with our acrylic paint, you usually do it just wet enough to get it to move. If it's starting to catch on the canvas, then it's probably kind of dry and it needs to be wet. So, just to dampen the brush, that's all you need. There's a little blue in here, but that's okay. There's actually, in the original painting, there's kind of a shadow right here, which I think they did with a little bit of the orange, but we ain't gonna do that yet. A little yellow black in there, that's okay. Let's put some white right over top of it. There you go. This is a cute little painting. This usually will take like an hour and a half, an hour, not too long. This is a great kids painting. This would be great like with some Christmas music, some hot chocolate, and your grandma or your nana there, or a couple of their friends, a little party. Good stuff. We did a lot of kids' party. I like doing the kids. Oh, the adults are fun too because you get wine and food. Birthday parties, dirty 30 parties, a lot of fun. Of course, with this COVID, a lot of this stuff's going to be inside, and I try to keep the party small. Right now I'm gonna. Okay. Now, this should be pretty much dry, believe it or not, because it dries that fast. So I'm going to go right ahead and start this green. So it's green, and I'm going to mix just a little bit of the black, not much. I'm going to do this again when we do the Facebook Live, when people buy my kits. And I'm going to go right ahead and do this darker color right on the line, the green and the black. Don't worry about where that nose is too much. I'm not going to. So here's green and black. Just outline. Don't try doing the whole thing yet because you're going to do the lighter green with a little white. You're going to do some green and white so that you get this shadow. So it kind of shows up a little bit. Little trick, little trick. Oh, I didn't do that blue over there. We'll do that later. See what happens when I talk? Don't pay attention. Ugh. Okay, so we don't wash the brush. Just kind of come back and take that same green and black, mostly green, put some more green in there, add some white. And now what you're going to do is you're going to fill this in. It's a little lighter, and what happens is, a little lighter, I think a little more white, is that dark kind of shows up that nice little shadow there. Guess I'm not worried about the orange yet. If you are, you could go around. You don't have to do like what I do. Now I'm going to kind of just blend these in a little bit. You can wipe your brush off a little bit if you want to. Your little paint buildup on there, and just kind of smush it in, all the edges, smush them in. So you get that shadowy look. That darker color right there. All right. So I'm not worried too about the nose, but I'm going to leave some out, makes it easier. Should have little shadows around this color a little bit here. Now I haven't picked out the second painting yet, so I try to look for something unisex, I'm assuming boys and kids and girls, and then maybe some adults might want to do this. So you don't want it too kidsy. And usually just a couple choices are better than too many because, oh, sometimes people can't make up their minds, and it's like, it's easier just to pick out a couple. Tis the season for this stuff, so. All right, so basically I got his hat on him. You could use a little bit of black, mix in a little more green, and you can kind of fix up those edges if you need to. So it looks like he has a hat here. Okay, while this is drying, I think I'll fix that blue up a little bit here. Rinse your brush. Give it a good swish. Wipe it off again. And I'm going to take that blue and white I already made up. Get a little more white, a little more blue. A little more white. Get as close as you can. This isn't going to be perfect. Whoop, maybe a little more white in there. There we go. There we go. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to want to make a little snow on this too. I want this to dry a little bit. So I am going to make the snow around the edges, and then we can do it on its face if we want to. And I just take the end of the brush and I put some white on the end of the brush. And I just kind of dab where I want snow. Doesn't kind of be perfect, but there we go. I want this to be a little more rounder. If you use a smaller brush, you'll get smaller circles, of course. A little mess there. Fix them up a little bit. It's okay. Happy little accidents. That's what Bob always said. Bob, so relaxing, Bob Ross. The kids are really into it now. It surprises me how many of the kids really like him. He's been gone quite a while now. Passed away. Oops. All right. So I'm going to rinse my brush again. And I'm going to kind of lay it down. And I'm going to pick up my small brush. We're going to be working on that nose. Now it's kind of dry. I have a blow dryer. If you got a blow dryer when you do a class, that's a good thing. I just want to dry it right around this nose. Look. Got the long brush. Green. There we go. There's no perfect way to do this when it comes to their face. Some people are going to want to do a little carrot or a big carrot or a, you know. I put this right on hot and I dry it good. Takes like a second. Mostly around this nose. I love a long nose on a snowman. Some people like little noses. I'm famous for my big noses. So I'm gonna go just like this. If you do this first, what happens is you know where you're gonna center it. And you can decide where the eyes are gonna be at each side, where the mouth is gonna be. It's just a little easier if you have I mean, you don't have to. You can do it any way you want. But for me, that's the easiest way to kind of get right in there so I know where the center is. You could decide, maybe I want it a little longer. You can do that too. There's little lines I made. Now I'm going to go right ahead and fill him out. Sometimes oranges are a little bit clear, so if that mine is, you can see through it. If it is, add a little bit of white, and you've cured the problem. It's a little less see-through. Kind of opaque is the word. Make this a little longer, I think. And there's his nose. Now you want to give your nose a little highlight, so I'm going to take some orange, tiny bit of the black, and I mean tiny bit, just a smidgen, a hair lash, and you're just going to kind of make a few little lines here so you can see the carrot a little better. Nothing fancy. If you want to give him a little more highlight, you could do that too. So just kind of, there we go. So now he's looking more like a carrot. All right. A little more orange up everything. Like I said, I like a long nose. All right, so now what we got to do is we got to do his face. And I'm going to do the same small brush. I'm going to rinse the brush out. We're kind of speeding this along. If when we do a class with kids, you'll be chiming in and I'll be like talking to the kids, see who's got some problems. Maybe slow down because I'm going fast for everybody. And make sure somebody wins this painting. And then right here I'm going to put the middle piece of coal right there. It hasn't got to be a perfect shape because the coal isn't. I'll put one under his eye, one right here. Then we want this to turn up, so I'm going to put one here and one here. Maybe one more right there, one more right here. And we got a snowman. Isn't he cute? And of course, I'd want you to make sure it's dry and then sign your name. You can do it with a Sharpie. You can sign the back. Well, basically, that's the whole painting that we'll be doing. I'll be picking on another one. If you have any questions, you can just, like I said, text on this Facebook Live. And this thing will run for like a year. So if you want to go back and look at something, you can, even after I do a class. So I'm actually going to try to copy this so I can like post it on Facebook or on Instagram and hopefully Pinterest. All right, thank you guys. I hope you're all watching. All right, bye. Let me see if I can get this thing off. Get it off. I'm finished.